What if I told you an AI just uncovered a biological pattern in our DNA that no human has ever noticed? And we have no idea why it exists. It's not a mutation. It's not a known gene. It's not even supposed to be there. Yet it shows up over and over again across the entire tree of life, from humans to plants to ancient bacteria. And the strangest part, we can't explain it. It all started in 2025, when a team of researchers fed a new type of neural network millions of human genetic sequences. The AI was called E, short for Evolutionary Vector Encoder. It wasn't designed to diagnose diseases, cure cancer, or simulate cells. Its sole purpose, to find patterns that didn't belong. EV used a type of contrastive learning, which means instead of looking for what's common, it looked for what stands out, the silent outliers, the whispers in the noise. But what it found wasn't noise. It was a strange repeating sequence buried in so-called junk DNA, a kind of genetic rhythm, mathematically spaced, fractal in nature, like DNA was humming a tune no one had ever heard before. These weren't functional genes. They didn't code for proteins. They didn't regulate anything. Yet they were everywhere. Over 92% of human chromosomes had versions of it. And when the researchers looked into non-human genomes, it was there too. In frogs, in trees, even in ancient microorganisms. They thought it was a mistake. They triple-checked the data, randomized the genomes. The pattern vanished in random code, but reappeared when actual DNA was reloaded. EV wasn't hallucinating. It was seeing something real, something deeply embedded in the code of life, something no scientist had ever seen before. What's even more mind-bending is that Eve refused to generate DNA sequences without this pattern. When prompted to produce clean synthetic genomes, it inserted the pattern anyway. As if, to the AI, any version of life without this hidden sequence looked unnatural. Biologists were baffled. There was no known reason for this pattern to exist. Evolution doesn't require it. It doesn't improve survival. It doesn't correlate with any known trait. Some speculated that it was an ancient scaffold, maybe a leftover framework from pre-DNA biology. Others suggested it might be a kind of universal biological checksum, a way for nature to verify its own data. And then the more controversial theories emerged. What if this pattern wasn't random at all? What if it was placed there, not by nature, not by chance, but by intention? Could this be a mesh, a signal, a watermark from a civilization that existed before biology as we know it? Or something even stranger, an emergent property of life itself, like gravity or time, woven into the structure of all living matter. One thing's clear. This AI, which had no preconceived notions, no ego, no fear of being wrong, looked into the deepest code of life and said, something's here, something we've never seen, but that's been there all along. If Eve is right, then maybe life isn't just chemistry and chance. Maybe it's a symphony, and we've only just begun to hear the first note. So what do you think this pattern is? A relic? A glitch? A clue? Or something more? Because if artificial intelligence can uncover mysteries hidden in our DNA, mysteries that challenge the very foundation of biology, then maybe, just maybe, we're on the edge of discovering something far greater than science has ever dared to imagine. Stay curious. The answers are only just beginning.